via Zoom. PSTA has developed several methods for ensuring the ability of the public to comment prior to and during the virtual meetings, and it's established these options. First, during the meeting, the public can provide public comment via telephone by calling 1-305-224-1968. The meeting ID is 322-3767-8166. Individuals will be able to speak for 3 minutes during the public comment period. Again, we'll make a public comment. To make a public comment today during the meeting, members of the public should call those numbers 1-305-224-1968 with a meeting ID of 822-3767-8166. The second option allows for the public to submit written comments prior to the meeting by mail to PSTA. So I don't know if we've received anything, but it would have had to have happened by now. And the third option allows for the public to submit comments via email before the meeting, again, prior to, at publiccomment@psta.net. Do we know if there were any public comments submitted?
No public comments submitted.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, I'm going to call the meeting to order now. And for the record, I'd like to first confirm that all of you who are on can speak and see each other, as well as do a roll call. And so first I'm going to see, is Jay James on yet?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Jay. Then Elizabeth Olden.
Yes.
Thank you. Kim Rankin.
I'm here.
Hi, Kim.
Hey.
Teresa Dunphy. I don't see her. Okay, I don't see Teresa. Maxwell Johnson. Also, I don't see Maxwell. Mark Boyce, I saw Mark.
Here.
Thank you. Peter Ray. No, I don't see Peter. Richard Powell. No. Richard McDaniel. Also not yet. Conrad Longenheim.
I'm here.
Thank you, Conrad. And then Roman Sherbalko.
I'm here.
Thank you, Roman. Right, very good. And are there any members attending whose names I didn't call? I don't see anyone. No. Okay. And also, just as a reminder, again, please respond to the track quorum notice within 48 hours of the emails that we get from headquarters. Okay. Well, first of all, good afternoon to all of you members that are on here. And on the interest of time, I'd like to briefly cover what was covered at the July board meeting. The board discussed rolling back the agency ad valorem or property tax rate from the current 0.7342 mils to 0.73 mils. Several board members have asked the agency to further lower the millage rate, and that decision will be coming up for a final vote at the September board meeting. And just another point, you can see the recordings of the PSTA board meeting by scrolling down to the meetings section on the PSTA homepage. And you'll see that there. I don't know, Bob, is this the time for me to discuss the note that I sent to you to send to the committee?
I think so.
Okay. At the last board meeting, I spoke on my personal point of view. But as a writer, I talked about what I felt was the importance of not lowering the millage, because certainly PSTA has done a fabulous job of finding ways to make the money go further. That's the whole community bus plan is still offering wonderful service, but it does mandate in some ways that some services are lost. And I personally know that because my 67 is the bus I most often take, and it is going away. And so what I wanted to do is, if the committee's interested, I wrote that note that Bob sent out to all of you. We can definitely edit that if in any way you all would see necessary. And if you don't want to do it, we don't have to do it. But I wanted to make a point of saying that, yes, you want a business to be as cost effective and efficient as it can be, but you can only take so much money out of a system, particularly a system that is a public good system, before you start compromising what it's designed to do. And I'm concerned as a rider that they not try to minimize what monies are spent to provide this very important public service. I don't know how many, did all of you get a chance to read the note that I wrote? And did you have any changes to it, thoughts about it, agree with it, disagree with it? Do you want me to read it out loud, by the way, or no?
Yes.
Okay, let me read it out loud first. What I wrote was, dear esteemed board members, as regular riders on the PSTA system, we'd like to express our concerns about the possibility of any further reductions in the millage rate and the resulting reductions to PSTA revenue. From our perspective, public transit is a critical public service that allows citizens to function more effectively within our community, not unlike having good, safe roads and bridges, good police and fire departments, and so on. Cutting costs too deeply can result in reduced efficiency, decreased service, and a decline in paying ridership. The fewer people that are riding, the less money that's coming in that manner as well. Ridership and decreased revenue that as a result. Potentially leading to more drivers on our already crowded roadways. If we're not riding transit, we're finding ways to ride in cars. We ask you to keep considering ways to allow for increased service with increased ridership and a resulting increased revenue, rather than always focusing on cost reductions. Thank you, PSTA Transit Riders Advisory Committee.
Beautiful.
What are your thoughts? I mean, I'd like to hear what everyone says.
Beautiful. Well said.
Thank you.
Hey,
Are there any people?
Bob, Gloria, I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, but if you're writing this letter on behalf of the track committee, were your intentions to take the vote on this?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. We were
All
going
right.
to take, we don't have a quorum, but what we can do is, what's the term for it, Bob? Where we have
Consensus.
a consensus.
okay.
And so I would simply read it as a consensus commentary by the track. How
Jay
about
has a hand up.
who does?
Jay.
Jay, please, by all means.
Well, yes, I fully support the letter that you wrote. And I personally am concerned that there's even thought or considerations of further cutting services. So yeah, I fully support this.
Okay, thank you. Where's Mark Boyce? I know Mark, what's your thoughts on this? Because I know you're very focused on cost reductions sometimes, and I'd like your point of view.
I would go, I'm so sorry. It's not that I'm against any of you all, and I do value PSTA, but I do believe we need to cut everywhere we can, and we all need to chip in. And so it's an unpopular opinion, but I would be for the taxpayers who are wanting to lower it.
Okay, well, thank you. No, that's why I wanted to hear everyone's point of view, because this isn't, and in fact, if we vote on it with the group that we have here and we have a consensus opinion, I can very easily say that one of our members was in opposition to it because it was felt that cost reductions needed to be spread across the board for everywhere. So thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Anyone else? Roman or Conrad or
Oh, good.
Okay, well then, I don't know, Bob, do we do this as a, someone makes a motion or oh, or Conrad has his hand up. Is that
Yeah.
Conrad?
Yeah, how come we don't have a quorum?
I
Is
know.
is it because, is a quorum based upon the number of people that should be on there and aren't? Or in other words, if there were only, if we're allowed to have 15 people and we only have 10, does that mean we can't have a quorum? I don't know if you understand my question or not.
A quorum is the majority of the committee. And right now we don't, we're just under that.
And is, um, not to throw people under the bus, but is there anyone that has, not being judicious in their attendance? Maybe we can throw them off and get somebody else.
Well, yeah, we'll discuss that at another time. We've got a pretty busy agenda here, Conrad. So
Okay.
Yeah, we will have that as an agenda point. I think there's going to be more recruitment as well. So
Okay.
thank you. Okay.
But I'm
Conrad,
in support. But I'm in support of what you wrote, Gloria.
okay, thank you. Okay, so Bob, do you want to do?
well,
do-
Brad has
weigh
his
in?
hand up, so I want to defer to him.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and thank you about Gloria. And I just want to make a comment. Yeah. Well, first, now I think we lost Mark. Oh no, there he is. Okay, good. So yeah, no matter what, virtual meetings you can't take any votes on a virtual meeting, right? So it had to be consensus, even if you had a quorum and everybody was here. But I think exactly what you're saying, Gloria, is right. That you would come and present these comments. I think that would be very good as a consensus discussion. With one member expressing
Dissent.
uh, disagreeing from the track member. You would just present that to the committee. And I'll just say, just so everyone knows, yeah, so the vote that the PSA board voted in July was to reduce the millage slightly, but we still have a balanced budget. We won't have to make any cuts this year. And then there are 2 more votes by the PSA board in September. September, what is it? 10th, I think it is.
Yeah, I believe it's 10th and 26th.
10th and 24th.
Fourth.
10th and 24th at 6 p.m. There's 2 different votes. You never know what's going to happen. I have, of course, talked to almost every board member, and I think there is, I think the majority are okay with the millage staying, reduced slightly where it's at now. Yes, you're exactly right, though, Gloria, that there are some board members that do want to reduce it even further. And so I think your comments would be helpful coming from the writers. Yeah.
Okay, so does someone want to make a motion that I present that, or I don't? Is that what?
Jay's hand is up again.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, Jay, Jay, go ahead.
So first, if the motion is needed, I'll move that we support in consensus with the letter that Gloria's written. Should I wait for a second before I say what I want to say next?
You can go ahead and say what you wanted to say next, and then we'll look for a second. Go ahead.
I find it concerning personally that there are people on the board who want to shut down or basically cut PSTA until it shuts down. And that, there have been people who have been appointed to the board who have for decades envisioned the shuttering and reducing and elimination of public transit. And it's concerning to me that the citizen representatives on the board that they appoint are not people who have or from here, the Transit Advisors Advisory Committee, or other committees that serve to improve public access to transit in this county. So I personally am disappointed in that and am appalled that people who would never use transit, who ever on the board and want to eliminate it for those of us who do use transit and support transit. I'm just saying, and it's really concerning that that the thought of even further cutting PSTA's budget is a
I hear you, Jay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, can we get a second on the?
Second.
I'll second.
Oh, okay, Elizabeth second, and then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. And Mark, you're opposed, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
Respectfully.
No, thank you. I understood. Okay, thank you. Okay, so it passes with 1 dissent. Okay, thank
Now,
you.
Gloria, I think we have a caller. I want to check. Is there a caller here for making,
A
wants
comment?
to make a comment?
There was a woman in the lobby at PSTA. Her name is Linda Carter, and I believe she's trying to call in. That might be her.
Mute. She is there. You just need, she needs to be taken off mute there in the bottom. Can you see her in the gallery view? Whoever's,
Oh, yeah. It's only saying ask to unmute. It's only giving me the option of asking for unmute.
who's
like it
on Zoom?
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry it made an option of *6 on my end, so thank you.
And are you here to make a public comment?
Well, I got a little confused, and my apologies. I did call about this. We're trying to get out of need and necessity a stop on Sunset and King because they run Hercules and they're not getting any riders. And then between Drew and King, there is no bus service, which makes no sense. And I have 2 little ones that I am now caring for. And we will use the bus service, and we've been trying to get it for a while. And I just called to ask what meetings were important to go to. And they said this, the woman that's hosting the meeting, she did come out and graciously put me in the Zoom because we drove all the way from Clearwater with the children to be at this meeting. Apparently we didn't understand the dynamics of it, and my apologies, and thank you for being gracious enough to ask. I do appreciate that, but we are in serious need, and that is a marginalized community for Clearwater, and I know there would be so many people that would use it, but you have to walk a mile and a mile and a half to catch the bus on either side of us off of Highland or Hercules, and I tried that, and it didn't go well with 2 little ones, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and the heat and all that. And it's necessity it's needed, to get groceries and to do real life stuff, to take the children where they need to go. And like someone else said, a woman in your group said, let's get people that are really riding and using this service. And, Dunedin has plenty of service. St. Pete gets an abundance of service, but Clearwater just has this little vacuum that makes no sense.
All right. Thank you for your comment.
So
Would you, normally we ask when people make public comment, could you identify yourself?
Yes, of course. Linda Carter.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Ms.
I live
Carter. I
off
will
of-
pass that along.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Sure.
all of you being gracious enough that it would matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so now let's move forward on our agenda. The next is Elizabeth reporting on the Forward Pinellas CAC meeting.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna read printout that I got in the mail from them. Housing Regulatory Toolkit. Forward Pinellas and 7 municipalities have committed to addressing the housing affordability crisis by signing the Advantage Pinellas Housing Compact. This pledge unites local governments under a shared vision and strategy guided by the Housing Action Plan. As part of this collaborative effort, the partners have developed the Housing Regulatory Toolkit, a comprehensive set of model regulations, policies, and strategies that local governments can adopt to support more affordable housing options. And I sent to Bob a sort of a cheat sheet. It will tell you how many people, 50% of the people are renters. And I mean, renters are using 50% of their earnings to put a roof over their heads. That's a burden that insupportable. That's what they're trying to fix. They're trying to make it so people can afford to live with a decent roof over their head. That's what these toolkits are meant to help develop in each community. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
Okay. Our first information item today is the ADA Compliance and Community Officer, Ross Silvers, is going to lead us in a presentation on the agency's new SPARE AI voice system. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Gloria. And I'm actually going to pass this on to Mr. Chris Macklin, who's going to do a fabulous job. Take it away, Chris.
Thank you, Ross, and good evening, good afternoon, committee members. My name is Chris Macklin. I'm the Acting Director of Mobility Services. And actually, I think this is my first time attending this meeting, so I am like super excited to be here. So I am here today to share information about the PSCA Mobility Department plans to implement artificial intelligence, better known as AI voice, to assist our call center. Next slide. All right, so basically 80% of our customers, they book their rides by calling us by phone. Our customer service and reservation human agents that work for us handles about 32,000 calls a month. This does not include phone calls that are missed due to customers being on hold for a long period of time. However, I do want to point out that our current agents are doing a great job, but they need help, and AI voice is the solution. Next slide.
Kim, you look great.
Now, there are two ways that we make reservations that the customer calls in. They call in by phone, or they can book their trip by using the app. We are very proud that we have seen a growth of booking through the app. But even through this huge success, we are also witnessing an increase of our customers calling by phone to book their trips, which are putting more pressure on our call takers. And honestly, guys, like making it harder for our customers to book their trips in a timely manner. So in response to this challenge, Spare Lab, which is our software that we use to handle our access and MOD trips, now Spare has introduced to us a AI voice. So this is a new artificial intelligence that will help our call takers with trip booking, checking status on their trips and cancellation, which is all designed to reduce the workload on call takers while improving customer experience. Next slide. So you might be wondering, say, Chris, what is AI? All right, so AI is a robot agent that is going to take calls through our RingCentral platform, which is our current phone system, and basically during peak hours to reduce hold time, which we're currently averaging about 3.5 to 4 minutes that the customer is on hold. And this is unacceptable. But what is impressive is with AI, it's a robot that's going to answer the phone, and we're going to try this out. So Spare already maintains the rider favorite location, preferences, and ride history. So AI will already have all this information and when taking the call, so it would enrich the customer experience. And I just wanted to, just a side note, if you are attending maybe our finance committee or our board meeting next week, our finance committee is tomorrow, but our board meeting is next week, I will be providing a live demonstration of AI, and it's really cool. Next slide. So the way it works is basically AI will accept the call. It will provide general information. It will book the trip and then ask if there's anything else that the customer needs, and then it'll end the call. And again, like I stated before, we're really trying to address the 3.5 to 4 minute on hold call. Like, this is something that is a need, and AI will be the solution to fix the issue. Next slide. So actually, this is one of my favorite slides here. This is, and I'm just going to paint a picture. This is like a visual. So what would AI look like? Now, what you can see or hear me say is the icons, which is the blue hair, are human reservations. That's on the PowerPoint right now. It's a human reservation with blue hair. And then you have the phone icons that represent high call value, which is the AI robot agents taking a call. And all I really want to point out here is the goal is for us to work together, the agents and the AI agent working together to work side by side to reduce the on-hold time. And all of this is with the goal to have the customer happy and not on hold for a long period of time. Next slide. And just, I wanted to cover some of the potential cost savings, but I wanted to actually just explain what that may look like. Currently, right now, we have about roughly about 390,000 calls that we take annually, about 13,000 on the average call per human agent that we have here currently at PSTA. Now, if you look at the chart to your right, and I can explain it too as well. Again, it will show you that AI voice can handle multiple calls. That's what we want. And we are estimating in our first year, AI helping us to decrease call time. So that's the main point. That's the challenge that we're having. We want AI to jump in when calls are climbing up high and customers are waiting on hold for long periods of time to address those calls. Next slide. All right. Now, last slide.
Chris, you got muted.
Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. Was I muted the whole time?
No.
No,
Okay.
just at the last slide.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just opening up for questions, but I do want to just reiterate that this is a great opportunity to continue to work with both parties, our reservation agents, and also implementing AI, working together to improve the experience of our customers. So with that being said, any questions that you may have?
Well, I'd like to start if I could.
Yeah.
And then I saw that that Jay has her hand up as well.
Yeah.
The question I had is, we've all had our horror story experiences with, let me talk to a human.
Yes.
Is there anything that allows the caller in to override the AI? Because
Yes.
I use the app all the time, but I know that there are a lot of little old ladies that I know that use access that will not ever. So
That's a great question. And there will be an option where, say, for instance, if a customer is having a conversation with the AI and they do not want to talk with that AI person, there's an option where the customer can request to speak to a live reservationist. So yes, that will be built into the system.
thank you, Chris. Thank you.
No problem.
And I see Jay. Jay, did you have a question?
Yes. And I just want to confirm that this will not lead to the reduction of customer service staff at all, correct? I say this because I've seen it where AI or some type of digital assistant has been introduced as a helper, then the slippery slope is that, oh wait, it's doing so well, we're gonna just lay off more and more of our customer service staff, and that's something I do not want to see. As someone who doesn't like to use these digital tools in that way.
Great
But
question.
period.
Great
I don't
question.
want to make sure we're not losing jobs for this.
Right. So great question. Just like you may have a favorite reservationist. I have one too. And we're going to keep that reservationist. And like I stated before, this is to complement the service, to work together as a team. That's the goal. We're working together as a team to tackle that issue, that challenge that we're currently facing with just long periods of customers holding on time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just gonna add that, yeah, to what Chris said, Jay. No, right now we're not eliminating any people's jobs with this. We are, as Chris said, and he showed that little chart. The same, all the employees will be there to answer like the base calls, and then just when it gets to be a really high volume at certain times of the day, then it'll kind of kick over to having the AI voice. And it'll reduce the on hold time for everybody. Then,
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I can't tell who that was. Oh,
Stuart
Stuart.
Westerman.
Stuart.
yeah.
Yes. I've had some experience with the Access system because I do home health care. And I had called for one of my charges and, gone with him when going to doctor's appointments, going to the Sunshine Senior Center. I'm not sure why there was a switchover, but I guess there was a switchover either within PSGA or within GPS. And instead of coming to the front of the house, which was pretty much a standing order on this because he used them 3 days a week, every week, it was coming to the alleyway. And the first few times they left before we even knew they were there. Is this working with the AI going to, and we suggested that they go to precise instead of approximate. They're the two settings, and they said, we'll try it, and that didn't seem to help. Will working with the AI eliminate that problem?
That's also another great question. And one thing that I didn't say during the presentation is we're going to, like, the first 7 weeks is going to be very imperative for us. Once we implement it, we're going to be testing it out, looking at situations like what you just stated. And if we need to make any adjustments, we will make those adjustments, especially within those first 7 weeks or first 3 weeks, to make sure that it fits the needs, all the needs of the customer. So great question, but we'll definitely make sure that take place.
Thank you. Oh, Mark Boyce, question. Mark? We're not hearing you, Mark. You're still muted. Oh,
Sorry, yeah, it wasn't working. The gentleman said that this will reduce costs, and then Brad said we're going to keep every employee. I guess that would mean the number of employees, or maybe we'll have an attrition program or whatever, for retirement or whatever. But how do you keep the same amount of employees and reduce the cost? And then that's number one question. Number two is, I was just curious what the most frequent customer call is regarding. In other words, is it a complaint because the bus didn't pick me up, or that kind of thing? And so then how would AI, do they have the ability to order to make a change, or how does that work? Or is it just keeping people busy thinking they're talking to a real person?
Great question. I mean, you got me in a hot seat with that one. But to address your first question about the cost and with AI, I just want to say that the majority of the beings, they're going to be taking the calls. We only need AI to kick in to address or to cover the whole times. Our goal is to right now, I stated before, we're at 3.54 minutes on hold. We're trying to get to at least under 60 seconds. So AI is going to jump in and make sure that we reach that goal. In regards to, how many calls, we project that AI will not need to go over 20,000 calls per year. And that's what we are projecting. So it's 20 calls per year. And then there's like a fixed cost that's associated with that. And basically when we did the math internally, I think it was roughly like $10,000 or 8% utilization. So that's like a fraction of the cost for just a live human being. So we're going to be saving, and we actually have a vacancy right now within our reservation department that we'll be able to see how this works, and we may not have to hire to fill that vacancy, but we're not planning to let anybody go. Okay. And then in regards to your second question about what type of complaints that we are receiving, and can AI address those complaints? I just want to say that when we set up AI, they will have already built into the system the customer favorite location and preferences and trip history. So they have all that information to be able to assist the customer, just like handling, just like if the call was handled by a human being. So those are the things that the benefits that the AI will bring to the table, and we're just looking forward to moving forward with this program.
Thank you.
No problem.
Jay, did you have another question? Your hand's still up.
Yeah, so basically the way the cost saving is happening and not hiring additional staff to handle the calls. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there's an opportunity for AI to continue to assist the call center, right? So by AI having the ability to assist the call center, we're looking at it from an operational side of keeping our current agents in place and just complementing the system with AI to help out with the calls. We do see potential cost savings, like I stated before, but however, we are expected and we will keep our current staff intact.
Thank you. Oh, Kim has a question.
Yes.
Kim?
Okay, Chris, you're the director of mobility services. I thought Bonnie Epstein was the director of mobility services.
Oh, she is. She's actually on maternity leave right now, so I'm the acting director.
Oh,
Yes. So,
I
but
didn't know that.
oh, all right, Bonnie.
yeah, but we're looking forward for her return. I believe it's sometime in November. But I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody on this call. Actually, I came from Jacksonville, and I used to, host what we call the Jacksonville Transportation Advisory Committee, just like, something like the track meeting here.
Oh.
So I feel like home. Like this is great to be back in the mix.
Thank you, Chris. We're glad to have you in the mix.
Yeah. Welcome to the family.
Welcome
Yes.
to the family. That's right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, well, if we're done with quizzing Chris on all this, I think we're ready to move on to our next agenda item, which is the Access Spare app with the PSTA Mobility Service Coordinator, Kim Dubik. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Kim?
Dubak, but it's fine. You can say it however you want. I
But-
think most of you know me as Kim D anyway. How's everybody doing today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So I was actually talking with Carrie about this a while back, and I spoke with Ross kind of gave me a little bit of insight as well. And I think it'd be a great idea, instead of us mailing out these 10 punch cards to you guys, I believe, and everybody correct me if I'm wrong, we send you 3 months at a time. You guys get 3 punch cards. We can just go ahead on an auto replenish inside the wallet in Spare, which I think most of you on the call know about, but if you don't, please let me know and I'll explain further. Auto replenish the $45, which means you can actually use the money in there for access and MOD rides. You're on mute, Gloria.
So we won't be receiving the cards any longer?
So instead of receiving the cards, yes, the money will go right into your wallet and Spare.
Okay.
All digital.
And so because I know I've been basically booking it as cash and then giving the card to the driver. So then I will start using it now the same way that I do my Flamingo fare on the bus.
Yeah, so if you book a ride, when you book a ride through the app and or through a reservation agent, they always ask you cash or card. If you say I want to use my wallet, they'll just use your wallet instead. So if you also put money on your wallet, this will just add to it. It'll just be in there the same way.
Okay. Can we use up the cards that we have?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else with questions? Well, I'm glad to see that we're moving forward electronically too. Oh, I see Conrad has a question. Conrad?
I thought we were getting $90 a month. You said, well, that you were, how much are you going to add every month? Is it?
So 10 punch card. I think you guys get, please Carrie, correct me if I'm correct on this. You guys get mailed out 10 punch cards per month every 3 months. Is that correct?
No,
That's how it works now.
We get 6 cards. I believe we get 6 cards
6 cards.
every
6
3
cards
months.
okay.
3 months. Every 3 months. Every
So
quarter.
6 cards. So it is $90 a month.
So are we going to get $90 a month?
Yes,
or
you are.
$270 for the quarter.
It'll be $90 a month reloaded. I apologize for the 45. I thought you guys got 10 punch cards, not 20. So I apologize for that. That was my mistake.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that to make sure we're all in the same boat.
Yeah. So it'll be the same exact amount of rides. I will put that same amount of money on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, Conrad.
All right. Well, I guess we're ready to move on to, if there's no other questions. We're ready to move on to our next item. And the last item will be an update on the agency's major new system overhaul, the Connected Community Bus Network, with Chief Planning and Community Affairs Officer Darden Rice and the Director of Communications and Marketing, Amanda Baird.
Hi, greetings, everybody. It's really great to be here. And I just want to give you an update on where we are with the Connected Community Bus Network. Slide, please. Thank you. So, as you all recall, our board of directors passed the community bus plan in March, and in doing so, kicked off a 6-month implementation period that will run us up to October 26th. So we're about 4 months in. We're really excited. And our goal is, as you may recall, is to best connect individuals and communities to destinations, given our constrained resources. Next slide, please. So this is a glimpse of our existing network, excuse me. And this is the network we will be using for about the next 2 months until October 26th, when we then switch over and launch our new network. Next slide, please. And on your right is a draft of our new bus plan. I want to take a step back a little bit and look at the big picture. because bus network redesigns are really happening all across the country, especially in the major transit agencies. And although, a lot of the changes that we're responding to, changes in work patterns and changes in travel, a lot of these changes were somewhat gradual up until 2020, but the pandemic really changed everything, especially work patterns. And now 1 out of 5 workers are remote workers. And in 2023, about 70% of our job seekers were really looking for flexible working arrangements. So this is not one size fits all. And I would like you to also, if you look at the map on the right, you'll notice that by and large, it does look rather similar to our previous bus network. And the reason for that is that the changes focuses on how bus routes function as a network, better transfers, more connections, simpler bus service. But the because the new service relies on making better connections and spreading out weekend service to the weekday service to the weekend, that means the map is really by and large going to look very similar. And when you look at the number of bus stops that are changing, it's about 5% of the total bus stops that are actually going to be eliminated. So while we're very excited about the efficiencies and the better connections that our new network is bringing, if you look at the new map, it is going to look rather similar to what we had before. Next slide, please. And these were the principles, as you may also recall, that really have guided our new network design. So we'll have more weekend service. We are designing a service that's more mindful of our spring break and our tourism demand. Of course, as always, it's very smart to capitalize on our core routes and build off of what's successful. We're also very mindful that these are routes that will get people to jobs. I think the access to jobs is important because it's one of the most important services we offer is getting people to work, to doctor's appointments, to school appointments. But this is also where people who don't necessarily ride our buses and use transit, if you ask those people why they value supporting transit, is because they understand in the big picture, we get people to work. Even if they themselves don't use the bus, they realize it's very important for our whole community to provide the support. And of course, we're making it easier with timed transfers for people to get a guaranteed connection to your next ride. And all of this is cost neutral. And what that cost neutrality means is, well, if you add service someplace else, you got to take it away from somewhere else. So everything is really a trade-off. Okay, next slide, please. The Spark is the highlight of our new design, and it's our premium rapid service. This is what we like to think of as our Sunrunner Light. And it will connect Eckerd College and the Grand Central Station via our South 34th Street corridor on US 19 South. And you see there, those are the dates of the service, the time and the span of the service. And again, this is going to launch on October 27th. We're having a big kickoff and a ribbon cutting at Eckerd College on Monday, October 27th to launch this new service. Next slide, please. Thank you. So in reach efforts, we really stepped up reaching out to our bus operators, and after the board voted for the Connected Community Bus Network in March. Bus service redesigns are intensive efforts. This really involves everybody. It's all hands on deck, from our finance team, of course, to facilities, communications, planning, PMO, transportation, operations, you name it. It's requires weekly project status meetings to keep in touch with each other and keep up with the progress of our work. And that is pretty minimal because we're all off doing our other work for this and our department work as well. I believe Alex Winston is still on the call today. Alex has led the charge in organizing our driver's lounge tabling. We're going to be back there tomorrow morning, rise and shine at 4 a.m. so that we can meet a majority of the bus operators who are going out for the day. And we are going to be tabling at least anywhere from 1 to 2 times a week, different times of the day to catch different bus operators, and also reaching out to the union and working with our CSRs and supervisors to get everyone trained on how to talk to other people and teach people about the new system. I really can't overestimate enough how it's so important to reach out to the bus operators. I don't think anyone, aside from maybe the people on this call and the track committee, our bus operators can really speak to the realities and challenges of their routes. They know what it's like, how to sit through, what happens when they have to sit through long light signals or have trouble on narrow roads or making a turn. So hearing their feedback about the routes is really a big part of what makes everything we do better, and their feedback is very valuable. Next slide, please. And public outreach efforts. So from the very, very beginning of the Connected Community Bus Network Plan, it's been outreach, outreach, outreach. And we've been out at we're going to be out at our transit centers. We're going to have our staff and people on buses, at transit centers, tabling at locations where, especially where there might be the most changes, where we know that we're going to have more people out there to help explain the new system, doing bus ride-alongs. We're really focusing on outreach to schools, our community events, and local government meetings. Next slide, please. So we are building on the progress of this network redesign, and I wanted to just mention really quick, as we're looking ahead at other major regional projects we're working on, we like to think of the bus network as really being kind of the nerve system that supports the regional service that helps connect us throughout the region. And some of the projects we're working on are really exciting. I already mentioned the Spark new service to you, but there's other premium service here as well that we were looking at developing for the future. I want to add here, as you're aware, that under new FDOT guidelines, we are not including bus and turn lanes in some of these future projects, but there's lots of other ways that we can really focus on creating and delivering premium transit service, and that high frequency ridership, and using transit signal priority so that our buses can move quickly through these corridors. So some of these projects are the Alt 19 premium transit service. So that again is another north-south connector that will connect to Grand Central Station and our Sunrunner corridor, and provide a premium transit through that key corridor. The I-275 premium transit service, that will be looking at, like, once the Howard Franklin Bridge is completed at the end of the year, we're going to look at how we utilize those express lanes for our buses, and to get people from Pinellas County to Tampa International Airport, maybe even downtown Tampa. It's basically, we're transforming, if maybe not even just totally reinventing, the 300X service. We know how much people really want the frequent, better connections to get to the airport, Tampa International Airport. On Advantage US 19 North, that is another project on down the road, no pun intended, that we're looking at. We know the future, what we see happening now and the future trends really show us a lot of people are moving to Pasco, but they're still working in St. Pete and Pinellas County. So this is a way to address those transit needs for the north part of the county. And as always, we're very excited about our continuing work on waterborne transit. There's a new day for PSTA. We recently took over the Clearwater Beach Ferry. We're taking in RFPs now to do the Tampa Bay Ferry to connect downtown Tampa to downtown St. Pete. And that will, both of these services are very popular. And as we build on their success, we will look to continue to expand waterborne transit throughout the region. I'll also add too that all of these future projects we're working on is really in line with what the board has directed. And it's very much in tandem with the same type of investment corridor type of work we're doing with Forward Pinellas. So we're going to continue our outreach. And if any of you here on the call today have suggestions or ideas of where you think we need to be to let people know about the change, again, it's coming up October 26th. We flip the switch. So if you have any ideas for events, organizations, or outreach opportunities, please let us know. You can email or call Bob or me. We're happy to get your ideas. And if you get any questions about the new service, please feel free to pass those questions on to us. I can copy you on our response so you can see our answer, but we're here to also be a support and help you because we know that you're members of the community who others recognize are very connected to PSTA. So my team is here to help give you backup. And it's your feedback and engagement that really helps make us better every day in every way. So thank you again. And I'm happy to take any questions you may have before I hand this off to my incredible colleague. Our marketing and communications director, Amanda, is going to tell you a little bit more about the bus maps and the system and kind of give you a sneak preview of what's ahead.
Conrad, do you have a question? Your hand's up.
I'm sorry, yeah,
Well, maybe I'll wait until after
Amanda.
I hear where the routes are going and everything, because I was going to make a suggestion about. I'll wait till the she goes and tells us what's happening.
I mean, my
Go ahead
presentation
and
is going
hand
to
it
be
off
about
to. I'm sorry.
my presentation is going to be about the maps and the signs and how those things are going to look. So anything planning and route destination specific, I would get that in now.
Okay.
Okay, then I don't see why we don't go just to the airport and eliminate going from the airport to downtown Marion Station. Because if we did that, we'd be able to get more rides and ridership would, in other words, you'd be able to go more often back and forth from the airport because there are 3 buses or 4 buses that go from the airport in and around Tampa. So I think that you'd be better off if you increase the ridership and option times, and also the 100 doesn't need to go down to Marion Station. Just let it go to Britton Plaza, and that way you increase the number of buses going from Pinellas to Hillsborough. And the 812, is it going to be running 7 days a week? I know the 812 is going to be changed.
We're talking about a future project, I believe. If you're talking about are you talking about how we will kind of reimagine the 300X?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still, your ideas are very important, really great. We don't have anything exact proposed pen to paper yet. This is something that we know we will be working on soon, and that we have been, FDOT has indicated that they are interested in helping to fund some of this work. So we're really, really in the very, very beginning stages. So your feedback right now is really helpful.
So how do I get this idea of going just from Pinellas to the airport and no longer going any further and just make more runs?
Well, you're doing it now in this public meeting, and I'm here and we're taking
Exactly.
notes, and we will keep track involved with this every step of the way so that when there is a more formal public comment period for as we take this on, track will be the first to know.
Because I use those routes a lot, and a lot of times I get off the 300 and get on one of those buses that's going to Tampa
Yeah.
and get to where I'm going to go, and I haven't found it to be a problem. And is the 812 going to start running 7 days a week? I know it's not going to be the 812, but the old 812, is it going to start running 7 days a
Jacob?
week?
Yep,
I think
I
Jacob wants
can
to
jump
take
in.
this.
Yes, I can jump in for that. So hey everybody, Jacob Labudka, planning manager here at PSTA. So the 812 as it exists today is for the most part going to become a variant of the Route 78. And that will be running 7 days a week, including on Sundays. So the answer to your question is basically yes.
Thank you. And I saw that, well, Brad had his hand up, but now he doesn't anymore, so, I'm gonna go to Mark Boyce.
I was just curious of two things. The kind lady that showed up from the public in our lobby or whatever. Does anybody know that area that she's talking
Yes.
about in Clearwater? And is it true that you have to walk a mile and a half to get to a bus in Clearwater?
I believe so.
Unfor- Yeah.
That's correct. I was hoping someone could reach out to her directly, because
She was such a nice lady, and we don't get too many
Yeah.
people from the public, so I just was curious because I feel bad. I've been where I've had to walk 7/10 of a mile, and I can do it, but wow, with kids and everything in this heat, so it's a long way. And I thought if we could help. And then my second question was, I didn't know about this new Spark service. And if I picked up on it correctly, it's going to Eckerd College from 5 a.m. until midnight or whatever. And I've been to Eckerd College years ago, twice, and I didn't know it's pretty large, but I didn't think of it as a place that needed that kind of bus service. And it's a private school, so you got to figure it's pretty wealthy people that are able to go to that school. That's just my perception. And I didn't know how a project like that jumped up past alternate 19, where, it's a main corridor. I didn't know how is that happening. That's, I could have a very poor view of it, and I might not know the statistics, but it just seems like there's more people need to travel on alternate 19 than to go to Eckerd College. So
Sure. I can see where you might say that. We did give a presentation on Spark, I think, at the last track meeting. The Eckerd College happens to be one of the endpoints of the service, but it's 18 stops along the way of one of our most major corridors. So the purpose of this service is not just to take people to Eckerd College at 5 a.m., but it supports that whole entire South 34th Street corridor, of which there is the ridership. And it just so happens that Eckerd College is at the endpoint. Now, we do know that we've been working very closely with Eckerd College. They've signed on to a UPass. I think we're going to have a lot of students and faculty and also employees there at the college utilizing the service, but this isn't, and there's quite a few contract workers and employees at Eckerd College who I would maybe not characterize as wealthy, but but this isn't just for Eckerd College. This has been planned for years as sort of like the next Sunrunner project to connect a north-south access to connect to the Sunrunner, so that we're providing more of that premium service in Pinellas County. So I hope that starts to answer your question, Mark.
I can also speak a little bit. In addition to Eckerd College, the route is going to directly serve Gibbs High School, Pinellas Technical College, St. Pete College, just to name a few of the other educational institutions and students, all of whom, including Eckerd, are UPass partners that pay into PSTA for their students, faculty, and staff to ride for free. And the Skyway Marina District is also directly served by this new route as one of the most rapidly growing and developing areas of Pinellas County at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. And by the way, real quickly to Mark's question about the nice lady that called in, I think that may be addressed when Amanda starts talking about the communication on this, because the area she was talking about is an area that I think will be served by the on-demand program that
Yes.
we're going to have, even though I don't like that. I want fixed route buses, but I understand
know.
that may be what she needs to have. So I don't know if anyone can reach back out to her, but that would be good.
We
Yeah,
will.
I just wrote down on the side that Jacob and I are gonna reach out to her tomorrow
Thank
to
you.
make sure that we're all set.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well then I'm ready for you. I think.
Jay has a hand up.
Oh,
Jay,
I'm sorry.
oh, you took it down? Okay,
Yeah,
never
I took
mind.
it down. It's not important. But Stuart is trying to raise their
Oh,
hand.
Stuart, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw a chat text along here that said something about a snapper service.
I
Is
can
that
see
the
that.
on-demand service?
That will be the on-demand service, and I'll speak a little bit to that while I'm talking about how it's going to appear on the map. I'll talk a little bit about how that service is going to work. So Bob, if you want to call up the slides, I will give the high level on Snapper, which is still in development. When we get
Apologies
to
for
system
that reveal.
Yeah, no worries. We're teasing it a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I messed up.
as part of our Connected Community Bus Network rollout, our graphics team and I have been hard at work in developing a new system that for wayfinding that you're going to start seeing throughout the county on all of our maps, on all of our signage, on all of our schedules. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about that today, because if you'll recall, a few months ago, I came to a very similar Zoom call and we had a focus group about this topic and discussed our shelter information boards and our schedules and what types of information are most helpful to you as the riders. So we took that information back and looked at what a lot of our peers are doing, looked at some of our best in class transit systems, not only in the US, but around the world, and got very geeky about maps and colors and shapes. And I'm excited to introduce to you our new color and shape system that you're going to be start seeing when CCBN rolls out. And I'm also going to show you a little bit about how this system is going to be implemented. So something new that we are doing with the rollout of the Connected Community Bus Network is each route type is going to have a color and a shape associated with it. So our most premium services, our Sunrunners and Sparks of the world, are going to be this bright orange, and they're going to have this oval that's always associated whenever we refer to these routes. And our most frequent routes, core routes, such as the Route 4, with a 15 or 20-minute frequency, anything under 30 minutes, is going to be that lovely shade of hot pink and a circle. So those rounded shapes are going to be your fastest routes. Our local routes, this is where the vast majority of our routes are going to fall, is in this local bucket with a 30 to 59-minute frequency. It's going to be that square shape. With our standard PSTA blue. That's been our color since the early 2000s. And our community routes, our 60-minute routes, are going to be this lime green with this rhombus shape, this kind of italicized square, so to speak. So it's almost a square. It's just kind of tilted over. Our limited routes, so this is what's currently our X routes and our LX routes. We're going to be doing away with those letter designations. Those routes are largely going to have 3-digit numbers, such as the 100 and the 300. And they will be this hexagon shape. The trolley might really, again, really geeky. One of my favorite colors that we ended up selecting was for our trolley services. We went with this wine red color, which is actually the same wine red that is the paint color on the vehicles themselves. So you'll see the trolley line on the map. You'll look up, you'll see a trolley that's coming at you that's the same color as the line on the map, that red and gold trolley. And that's it's a rectangular shape because most of our trolleys fall into that same frequency as that 30 to 59 minute square local route. So on the next slide, I'm going to show you a little sample of our system map in progress. So you can see how these colors kind of interact with one another. And how the shapes will look. This is far from final. We are still developing all of our little insets for downtown St. Petersburg and making sure that everything matches up to where it's supposed to be. But our graphic designer very graciously gave me a sneak preview that I could show to you in this form. So you can see that each of those colors kind of pops even when it's up against another route. We also took a lot of careful consideration for our colorblind community because colorblindness is very common, which is where the shape system came from. Was one, we checked that all of these colors were high enough contrast, not only against the white background, but against the other colors. And then if someone were to be completely colorblind, the shapes are all distinct shapes for the different frequencies. So they'll still be able to associate the shape with the frequency. What you do not see on this map that is in the process of being added is our ferry stops in Clearwater Beach, and Dunedin, which should hopefully be rolling out this fall. And we are also, as Brad mentioned, going to be rolling out our on-demand zones, which we have our grouper service, which has been very successful between PIE and Clearwater Beach. And we're going to kind of use that service model in these on-demand zones, but not that fare structure. So it'll be within that same app Booker, you'll be able to hail a ride anywhere within that zone and get a ride to a main transfer point nearby. So in the Clearwater on-demand zone, which, as Brad mentioned, is going to be called the Snapper, so related to the grouper, but it's more about quick, easy local connections. In Clearwater, you'll be able to go from anywhere in the zone to Park Street Terminal, and in Safety Harbor, you'll be able to go to Countryside Mall and vice versa. So you can get a ride from Countryside Mall to anywhere in Safety Harbor, go to your spa, you get your Safety Harbor Spa, get your massage, and then you can get a ride back to Countryside Mall to catch your bus home. So that's our Snapper service, and it will be featured on this map kind of in that light purple, same color as the intermittent services. So ferries and on-demand zones are still being added here. Next slide, please. I also wanted to show you a sample of what our shelter information boards are going to be. As you'll recall, in our focus group, we talked about those boards with the full departure timetable are very costly to print and deploy. So we discussed and kind of agreed that moving to more of this model that's going to have, you'll still have your full system map in the shelter, and on the board next to it will be one of these. So on the left, you see a board that's just the Route 4. On the right, you see a board that's got 3 different routes on it. So you've got your route map, and then at the bottom of the route map, you have a little frequency chart, which I apologize that it's very small in this picture, but it shows you basically, hey, from this time to this time, the bus is on a 30-minute frequency, and then it'll pick up to a 15-minute frequency at 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then it'll switch back to 30. And there's those frequency charts for weekday, Saturday, and Sunday service for all routes. Also, by going to this model, we gained a lot of real estate for really important information that will help folks navigate the system. So some transit app information, some fare payment information, the types of signs that folks should be looking for, where to get more real-time information, some tips for how to easily board. So we gained a lot of real estate for that information. It's going to help people use our system more effectively. On the next slide, you will see just kind of a zoom in on what our route maps look like. This is, as you'll see, in grayscale, but still uses that same shape system from the full color maps. So that's going to carry over into both color and black and white print. So for example, on the next slide, you'll see what our printed schedule is going to look like. So you've got that map on the inside with the timetables on either side, and that shape for the route is also going to be prominently featured on the front cover of the schedule when it's folded. So if you go to a customer service center or somewhere where you have these racks and racks of schedules, you'll see the circles, the ovals, the hexagons, the rhombuses. And you'll be able to once you know the system, it's like, oh, this one's going to be the most frequent, this one's going to be the least frequent kind of thing. So the next slide is a preview of coming attractions following the CCBN launch in October, because my team might have a heart attack if I try to get this out before October as well. Once we redo all of those shelter information boards, all of those maps, and all of that is deployed and working as designed, we are going to undertake our PSTA bus stop signs throughout the county. So this is an early draft, again, still using that shape and color system that we've developed, but this will be on the metal sign itself at every bus stop. The stop number is going to be very prominently featured at the top. And all of the numbers are meeting or exceeding the height requirements for character size as outlined by the FTA, the ADA and FDOT, and FTA. All of the transit sign regulations are being met or exceeded with these. The other beautiful thing about this that actually came from our focus group was the discussion of how frequently those smaller signs midway down the post, those real-time information signs, that's the only place that currently has the route number or the stop number. They get vandalized very frequently because they're kind of right at eye level, hand level. We're actually going to consolidate all the information to that top sign. So there's less temptation to climb the pole that is 7 feet tall and scrape off the route number or stop numbers on these bus stop signs. So with that, I am happy to take any questions about maps, schedules, colors, any of that fun stuff. And I want to thank you again for your input, because your input in that focus group just a few months ago is what helped us develop all of this.
Well, I'm going to start with me again, and then I'll go to you, Stuart. I think you're raising your hand as well. But I am most concerned about letting people know about the on-demand, the changed on-demand service when the 67 goes away. Are we still going to have signs along the roadways there where bus stops used to be? Are there going to be signs just in that area so people know that that's something that's available? Because to this day, I still don't know how to use on-demand service to go to Safety Harbor. And it's, I mean, I know how to look for a bus sign, and I know how to look on, use my transit app, but it doesn't show me how to get to Safety Harbor, for example.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I am very excited about for the on-demand zone that Jacob and I are working on, what is currently the 814 on-demand service is going to transition over to this Snapper model.
Okay.
And Jacob and I are actually working on getting it integrated into Transit app. So it will be featured as a service on Transit app that you can connect to. So that's the first exciting thing. Second, exciting thing is we have already deployed, passenger notices, and they are continuing to be deployed at every bus stop in the county, pointing people to our website for information on all of the changes, including the on-demand zones. Excuse me. So that is happening like literally as we speak. Our facilities team is out deploying those passenger notices. And then once the Snapper service, all the integrations are fully set up, we are going to develop a outreach plan and signage plan specifically on that Clearwater Snapper and Safety Harbor Snapper, as we are calling them.
Thank you. Amen. Okay, then I'm going to go to Stuart, was waving to begin with. Stuart, did you have something?
Yes, on the on-demand service, even if it's not the Snapper, even if it's not the final product yet, is there something similar, an on-demand thing for Clearwater now? Because I do go up there sometimes, and in the last meeting, the one that was in person, there was someone else on the board, and forgive me, that was my first meeting, so I'm not sure if they were on track or if they were on the board and sitting in for the board, that mentioned that they were having problems sometimes with not enough buses or late enough buses in Clearwater, at least getting them to the Park Street terminal to get from there elsewhere. Is there that on-demand service, even if it's not going to be the final product right now for Clearwater?
It does not exist today. It will roll out alongside the Connected Community Bus Network. We do have our Direct Connect service, which might be able to help folks in that area at least get a discount on their Uber or Lyft ride to their closest Direct Connect stop. So that would be my recommendation between now and October 27th.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I saw Mark Boyce next.
Yeah, I apologize for being out of the loop on this, but the system, the 411 system at each stop where you could punch into your phone, text, and find out how many minutes away the bus is or whatever, or if there's no bus coming, and that stopped working a number of months ago. Is that accurate? Or
Not to my knowledge. That's
you can still punch into 41411.
yes,
and
you
get
should still
your
be able to.
okay. It's
Right.
probably operational error. I just punched it in while I was waiting on my other phone here, and just to see if it was working. And so I thought maybe we replaced it with a new system and I missed it. So it could be both of my phones or something or other's changed. I'll find out, but I'm glad to know it's still working. I just can't get it up to work. Last time I was able to get up on my phone. So last time I was able to get information through 41411 is in May. So
Gosh,
anyhow,
I will.
I have
I'll do
most
some
of
investigating on that for you. and
okay.
make-
I have most of everything memorized because I'm familiar with the system. But every so often I go to areas and it's crucial information. So thank you.
Okay, now I see Jay and I see Conrad, and I'm not sure who was up first, so I'm seeing Jay first on my screen. So Jay, go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Where are my notes? Okay. So while we're waiting on the bus stop sign redesigns, are we just going to replace the stickers with new route numbers in the meantime?
That's the plan. Is they'll just get re-stickered with the appropriate route number
Okay.
for October 27th, and then the rollout of the new signs will happen incrementally over the fiscal year.
Okay.
And then Conrad.
Yeah, I have been reporting that 41411 system, and also calling in about when you're standing at the bus stop for the last couple. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
And there's something wrong with it because um I'll be standing at a bus stop and I'll put the number in. In fact, you can probably do it right now. You could just, if you know of a bus stop, and just call it up, eh, or just put the bus number in, and it'll say the bus will be arriving in 1 minute. I don't care where you're standing. You can be standing anywhere in Pinellas County, and for some reason, it says the bus is going to come in 1 minute. It's always the bus is going to come in 1 minute, and the bus can't be coming in 1 minute every single time you call. So I'm telling you, there's something wrong with that system, and I keep telling people about it, but I don't know what they're doing about it. And also, I have tried that text thing, and it gives me some kind of message that it's not. I can't get it to come up. Now I have been able to call the customer service agent, and most of the time they've been able to see the bus and tell me. But you know, you got to wait too long for it to. You know, I get to the bus stop and I want to know where I'm going. You know what I mean? And how much I got to wait, or should I cross the street and go north or go, you know what I mean? I don't want to wait all that time. I want the system to work like it should. And the next thing, so whoever needs to check that, please check it because it's not working for me. And then the second thing is, um, you all were talking about doing all these signs and everything else, and I made a suggestion at one of them. I'm glad to see, maybe you listened to me or not, about putting it up way high. Thank you for that. So keep them vandalizers. And
Absolutely. Yeah, that stop number will be 7 feet in the air for you.
right. And also, I want to reiterate again. I don't see why you can't have it low and high. Because some people can. It just makes it easier. I don't see why you can. I just don't see why you can't have it low and high. But and then the other thing is, when we're putting all these signs up, I've made a suggestion that get somebody that's not Shaquille O'Neal to walk around and look where these signs are, and get somebody that's in a wheelchair and go around, because they actually need to be at wheelchair. Shaquille O'Neal can bend down, but I can't get up. So I think there needs to be a happy medium at a lot of these places. Those signs are so small to read that they actually need to be brought down. And if you bring them down a little bit, then I can read them and Shaquille O'Neal can read them. But at most of the places, they're too high to be read by me and midgets.
Well, thank you, Conrad. I'm trying to get this moving through because we're already at the end of our time. But
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Mark, I see you have your hand up real quickly because we are at the end of our time right now.
Yes, I just wanted to show, I just tried it again. This is what's coming up if you can see it. It says error EC0051, unable to communicate. And I don't know, how long that's been inoperable, but it's going back quite some time. I can't imagine that no one
2
has.
weeks.
I just put it in and got the same error. So I will make sure that our IT team is
Thank you.
informed and it will get fixed. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you for telling us. Yes.
Thank you for passing the time. Okay, Jay, real quickly. And
it was about the same thing because I just put in a stop number myself and got an error that the stop doesn't exist. I was like, okay. So,
guys, we're at the end of our time. If there's anything real quickly that you comment that you wanted for the group to hear right now, speak now or wait until our next meeting, which will be on the 23rd of September and will be in person. So we're planning to meet back at PSTA's headquarters on the 23rd of September, and hopefully we will get a good group out for that.
So is this the additional comment time right now?
Beg your pardon?
Is this the additional comment time right now, or are we still on?
All right, go ahead real quickly, Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, can we, the new signs on the bus, on the front of the bus saying fare is required is hella insulting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, can we stop? I am not an idiot. I know the bus fare is required, and if someone's not paying the fare, you tell them when they come on.
I know.
But like, don't put it on the front. It is so insulting to transit riders as if we're idiots. I'm sorry. It's I really do not like it, and uh, it's bad enough that we have the ugly signs on the doors that I understand why the drivers need them there, but like those ugly paper signs, it's bad enough we have that, but now we also have it bothering us and calling us idiots on the front of this.
Isn't that part of the whole program that Brad and Bob, isn't that a part of the whole program about requiring fares from people who have not been, I know the
It
board.
is. It is, yeah. But
They have to
thank you for your
like,
comments. Jay.
It's insulting.
I hear you. It's only temporary. It'll only
How
be
temporary
temporary.
is temporary?
Well, I'm happy that you're commenting. Hopefully it'll be even more temporary.
Okay, because yeah.
Okay. Conrad, you look like you have another, yeah, again, very quickly, because people need to end the call and.
I
Conrad?
make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, well, two other real quick things I was gonna say. What we wanted to let everyone know is on Friday, there is going to be the groundbreaking for the
Yes.
Clearwater, the new Clearwater PSTA station, and that'll be happening at 3 p.m. at, what's the address there? 710 Court Street in Clearwater. And so anyone who is interested can go, and Bob tells me there's gonna be a tent, so even if the skies open up, we should be able to stay dry.
Correct. It's 2 p.m. 2 p.m. on
Yes.
Friday.
And
Oh, I'm
I did
sorry.
send out an invite, so you should all have an
Oh, yeah,
invite in
too.
your email.
Thank you, thank you. And is there anything else from Brad or Bob that you want the committee to know?
Not for
The
me.
great chair Gloria will be speaking at the
Yes.
Clearwater groundbreaking.
Well, I'm just gonna be speaking as a transit rider, and glad that that we're gonna have an ADA. The nice thing is that the new facility will have some air conditioning inside, so there'll be not just all outdoor, and with the weather that we're having, that'll be really lovely. And for me personally, it's all gonna be ADA compliant, so that'll be great too.
Yeah.
Okay. Conrad, your hand's up again. Did you have anything else real quick?
Yeah. Can we get the bus stops in Tampa to be ADA compliant? I've been complaining about it. They won't stop at the green line. The bus drivers, even though they're being told, and there was a memo put out, they're still not doing what they're supposed to do so that I can get on that bus. They either got to pull back around or they got to back up. They don't want to back up. And some of the bus drivers just really angry at me because I want to get on their bus, and there's not enough concrete there, and either they need to. There's green signs painted where they should be stopping, but they're not. And if they would fill in the concrete, that would solve the problem, or maybe paint a great big wheelchair sign there. But the information being given to the drivers, it's not going into their brain to do it.
Well, that's Hillsborough County though, right? That's hard.
No. When the 100 and the 300 go over there.
Hours, okay.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I will we will re-emphasize that they need to pull up where people can get on, accessible people can get on it. Yeah, because I know that area doesn't have enough concrete. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Well, they've been told, Brad. And it's coming over that little screen, and they even know it, and they get mad at me because I pull up in a wheelchair. It's like, I'm sorry, you're a bus driver.
Are you talking about at Britton Plaza?
No,
No, at,
Marion Station.
at Marion.
Oh,
Downtown.
at the new spot they moved those buses to.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I got you.
there are green lines painted on that sidewalk. If they'll pull up to that green line, they'll be okay. But they pull the bus all the way up to the side 3 more feet, and then I can't negotiate that place where there's no concrete.
Yeah,
Right.
that spot is barely 80. It's not even really 80. It's so narrow over there. So
I
yeah, I
know,
fully get
it's
that.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I asked the bus driver, I go, how about you pull around the street, or either go back around or back up? And they said, I can't back up. I'm not going to back up the bus, and I'm not going to pull around. I said, are you refusing to load me? And then I call Greg Bracken, and then Greg Bracken calls them and says, you load that guy. So this is ridiculous.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, hopefully now it'll get taken care of.
Okay.
One quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the access, well, the on demand for Clearwater and some of the when that does come about, is that going to be needing a 1 business day notice?
No,
No.
those services will be in the Grouper app and Webbooker, not in the Access app and Webbooker. So it'll be truly on demand. You might experience a
Excellent.
wait time up to an hour from requesting your ride. So you can schedule it in advance if you'd like, or you can request it when you need it.
Excellent. Excellent.
And are those wheelchair accessible vehicles?
They should
They
be.
are.
Right, well, thank you. Well, if no one else has any other comments or questions, I think it's time to adjourn the meeting then, and see y'all next month.
Bye.
See you next month.
Thank you. Great
everyone.
meeting.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
You
Take
too,
care.
Conrad.
Bye-bye now.